So while I'm making an order, obviously things happen. People make mistakes. We ring in something. Oops, I wasn't supposed to ring in the 6 piece. I need to highlight it, and I need to hit void. This is called a pre-void or an item correction. They do not need a manager to do that. However, this is tracked in the system, and it doesn't send to the kitchen, and nothing's happened because I have not hit settle. However, once I hit settle, and this sends to the kitchen, I now, when I highlight and hit void, whether I do it from this screen or I cancel and do it from this screen, it is now going to ask me, why am I voiding it? So for this void reasons, we have customer change mind and we have server error. These two middle ones we save for when we do a refund, which I'll get into in a minute. On both the customer change mind and server error, they're subcategorized into made and not made. One being removed from inventory, the other one not being removed from inventory. Obviously, the first thing we want to make sure is we're not cooking the food, so before we even deal with the computer, we're going to tell the kitchen not to make the food. So in this case, we told the kitchen not to make the food. We need to void it. We made a mistake. Therefore, it was a server error. Server error basically just means anyone who's working in the store. And it wasn't made. Cashier is not authorized. We enter our code, and now it's voided off the bill. Customer can pay $14.68 and moving on. If I need to void the entire bill, and it's not just one specific item, I can very easily go to bill functions and void the whole bill. The same thing applies where I have my list that comes up. We made a mistake. We didn't make the food. We just want to start over again. We enter our code, and the bill has been voided.
Hi, Jared. This is Darren. Can you bring in an order and apply a void discount and then try to avoid it? Is the same process the same?
Let's try a look here. So I'll ring in a 1 piece with fries and no gravy. I'll hit settle. I'll go in the staff meal working discount. And then I want to void this whole bill. Bill functions, void bill. We made a mistake. We don't want to make this. Yes, the void is done.
So what's the 541 outstanding?
This is not outstanding. This is just in the background. I haven't started a new bill yet. It was just waiting for me to select an order type.
Thank you.
No problem.
Jared,
Yes.
I have another question. When we're hitting the void, if we enter in a 9-piece and a 6-piece, I think as you appeared as an example, if we no longer wanted the 9-piece and before we hit the settle screen and we wanted to void that particular item, does that reflect on our sales summary report as an added void?
So before I hit settle, I simply highlighted
Yes.
my 9-piece of it. No, it doesn't show up anywhere to do with sales or voids because it's an item correction.
Okay.
So in this case, I simply hit void. That's just an item correction. It's not going to hit the inventory. It's not going to hit anything anywhere.
So it's just until you hit the settle and then you have to go back and void it. That's when it appears on your sales summary report.
Correct, exactly. Yes, this is going to show up on my sales summary report, and then if I use one of these made reasons, that's also going to reflect inventory as well. Even though I may have voided it, it may still come out of inventory based on what reason was selected.
So if it's not made, we have to make sure that they're hitting not made.
Absolutely, correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the difference between now a void and a refund is a void is done when I have not taken someone's money. I've rung it in, I've hit settle, it's sent to the kitchen, they have not paid me, and I need to do something to the bill. That is a void. The minute that money is collected, so the minute I ring in this and I ring in a 6 and a 9 by mistake and I hit settle and the customer paid not realizing that there was a 6 and a 9 on the bill and I only need the 6, it is no longer a void. Whether they're standing right in front of me or this happened last week, last month, last year, it makes no difference. It's automatically a refund. We are not looking up into the system, the old bill, and retrieving the bill. We are simply starting a new bill and ringing in what we want to refund. So we simply hit save and leave, starting a new bill, and we're going to ring in what we want to refund. Now, without hitting settle, because that would just simply send it to the kitchen again, We are highlighting the item we want to refund. We go Bill Functions, and we hit Refund Item. The system will automatically carry my amount. If we try to enter an amount larger than this, it won't let me continue on. I'm not able to refund something for more than the value of what it is. I can refund, however, for less than the value of what it is. But for what most part we're doing here is we're always refunding the exact amount, so we simply hit Done. Again, why am I refunding it? So in this case, in this example, we made a mistake. We rang it in when the customer only wanted the 9-piece. We told the kitchen it wasn't made. However, there are other reasons here. The QSA reason now applies and stands for a quality issue. Am I refunding it because there was a quality issue with the product? That is always made. Return of product we really never use because we're not returning product into inventory. The only example of that one would be, let's say, a bottle of pop or something. But anything that's cooked, or for 99% of all Mary Brown's items, there is no return of product. Somebody, Noah, you have a question there?
No, sorry, I had some connection problem here.
Okay, everything okay?
That's everything.
Okay, good. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to go, and it was server error. It was not made. Again, the cashier doesn't have access to do this. We enter our code, and now instead of a V, I'm going to see an R, which is a refund, showing a negative amount. The fact that it's negative does not change anything in our system whatsoever. We still follow the same procedures to close the bill off. I am simply going to hit Settle. If I'm going to give it back in cash, I'll hit Cash, Enter. If I'm going to give it back on a credit card or a debit card, I'll hit Credit, Debit, Enter, and it will send it to the Chase device. I do not need to tell the Chase device it's a refund. It knows it's a refund because it's a negative amount. The procedure is identical to as if it was a positive amount. Now, we're going to do an example of an advanced refund. This is one that I like to do in training a lot of the times. Customer comes in and they order a 10-piece feast. They have it with large taters, large coleslaw, and gravy, and they don't have any drinks. They pay for the bill with cash, and as soon as they pay, their phone rings, and someone else has joined the house, and the wife has called and said, we need to make that a 13-piece feast. Because this bill has been paid for, it follows the rule of a refund, and the rule of the refund is always the same. We start a new bill and ring in what we want to refund. Well, he paid for a 10-piece feast, so we're going to ring that in again. We ring in a 10-piece feast. He ordered it with taters, he ordered it with coleslaw, he ordered it with gravy, and he didn't have any drinks. We highlight the item we want to refund. We are going Bill Functions, Refund Item. Again, it pulls my amount. Why are we refunding it? The customer changed their mind, and we didn't make this because we told the kitchen not to make it. We're not authorized. We'll enter in our code, and it's a refund. We do not need to settle this bill at this time. We don't need to then go and do a third transaction. On the same bill, we can ring in what the customer wants. He wants a 13-piece feast. He still has all the fixings that he has with it. And you'll notice the system will do the math and figure out exactly what the difference is. In this case, he only owes us an extra $5.65 because he already paid for the 10-piece feast. If it was the other way around and he wanted to go down to an 8-piece feast, it would be a negative amount, which we would have to give him back money. The system will do all the math for us. We simply close this bill off, and we're good to go.